1460 WVOX.
Now back to the Greenburgh Report on 1460 WVOX. Once again, here's Greenburgh Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Hi, good morning. I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor. My guest is Arnold Treco, and Arnold has opened up a franchise in the Greenburgh, Westchester area called I-9 Sports, and that's 9, the number 9, not N-I-N-E, Sports. And we were talking about your passion for sports, and you got into this because your children were into sports and were enrolled in this program.
Correct. Yes. My son who's now 13, but back when he was 4, 5, 6, 7, he played with I-9 in the Greenburgh area. But then the franchise left. Also, my daughter played. She was a little more reluctant, but she played as well. And but then when the franchise left the area, they didn't have any choice except for the standard baseball programs or things like that. But I always remember how I-9 was, so we decided to see if we can bring it back to the area.
What's the age range of participants?
Okay. Well, we go from we'll take them as young as 3. And we go up to 14. Sometimes, depending on the circumstances, we might go a little younger if the kid's more advanced. But the standard age is 3 years old to 14.
Right. And for 3-year-olds, there's not a lot of school-related.
Yeah, there's pretty much nothing. So we kind of tailor our program. The program is tailored based on the age group. Like, you can't put a 4-year-old on a full-size soccer field kicking into full-size soccer goals. So we bring our own goals that are tailored for their size and make the field smaller that are tailored for their size so they have more fun. And we make the time frame different. Like, our program is only run on Saturday. So it's a 1-day-a-week thing for parents for the convenience. And you get to have your practice, and then right after the practice, you play the game. So it's just a 1-day commitment instead of, having to go to a practice or a game 4 times a week, and then 3 games that the time commitment can be crazy for some of the league sports, but ours is really just based on the convenience of the parents and the families.
There's a shortage of field space in Westchester, and do you have problems finding fields?
It depends. I mean, sometimes we have programs, we run them in Elmsford and Alexander Hamilton High School, which we're doing in September. And we also have SUNY Purchase in Purchase, New York. We use the college. And a lot of the schools are receptive when you call them and talk to them. They carve out space for us, especially since we're doing it on Saturdays and usually Saturday mornings. So a lot of the spaces, they don't have anything going on. Like, we've done it at V.E. Macy Park. And, so we just kind of look around and find, all we need is grass. I mean, we bring the lines, we bring all the equipment. If we just have a grass field, we can run our programs.
And how many kids are usually involved in a program?
It depends. I mean, sometimes we'll have 70, sometimes we'll have 150. We've gone up to 180. We're just getting started after the pandemic when everything was shut down. We're just starting to build up our numbers. I mean, we can go up to 200, 250 because the kids are there just a set amount of time. So we just bring kids in and let them leave and bring more kids in and just stay out there, rotating the kids.
How do you promote the business that you have?
Doing things like this. If I can do an interview somewhere, or we put out flyers. You can look for our road signs. We go to the schools and to daycares with flyers and hand them out to let parents know that we're here. We do some social media marketing. We're getting more into the Facebooks, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram and things like that to keep in touch with us. And
is it expensive, a program?
It's not. Well, for the value, we don't consider it expensive because you pay $149 if you register early. The earlier you register, the less expensive it is. So if you register maybe 3 months out, it's $149. If it's 2 months out, it's $169. If it's the month before the program starts, then it'll be $189. And if you register late or even after the program starts, we have a late fee registration.
And how long is the program for?
It's there's 7 weeks or there's 6 weeks. Usually in the spring and the fall, we do a 7-week program. And in the summer, because people are going away and it's hot, we do a 6-week program. And in the winter, because of the weather also, we do 6 weeks. So we run programs all year round.
So when you really think about it, it's not it's not that expensive. It's under $25 a session.
Correct. Yes, it's not expensive at all.
Less. Yeah, that is great. So could you tell us again the range of sports that you have?
Sure. We do T-ball or coach pitch for the younger kids. That's from 3 to 8 years old. We do flag football. We do soccer and basketball. Now we also are looking to add volleyball into it, and we have a lacrosse program that we haven't really run yet in Westchester, but we're trying to judge the interest in that. So we could do lacrosse also. I mean, I-9 has, they also have a golf program they do in the West Coast and other areas of I-9. But the main, what we call the core four, are the baseball, basketball, flag football, and soccer.
That is that is great. And you mentioned that parents also are coaches.
Yes, we look to get the parents to volunteer, but we support them, and every week we have a coach plan. So even if you have zero experience coaching, you come with a piece of paper, or we have an app on our phones that we'll send to the parents, and they can see exactly what they should do or what they can do. It gives them ideas, the time frame. You do this for 5 minutes, do this for 7 minutes, and it walks them through the entire process. We have a lot of inexperienced parents. After 2 weeks, they're like, "Oh, this is so easy. I could have done this. I could do this all the time."
Oh, that is that is great. And a lot of parents, especially who have like young kids,
right?
They probably take so much pride in coaching their kids.
Right. My son doesn't remember any of the scores. He doesn't remember anybody he played with. What he remembers when he talks about playing for I-9 is, "Oh, my dad coached me. Oh, I remember you coaching me. I remember us playing. I remember coaching together." So it's a good experience to do with your kids.
Right. It's something that the kids will remember for many, many years.
Right. And then while they're coaching, we also have a staff member there that we call, his title is a sports coordinator. So as you coach, the sports coordinator will be there to support you and help you with ideas and take over if need be, if you can't make the commitment that day.
That is great. I'm Paul Feiner, Greenburgh Town Supervisor. We're talking with Arnold Treco of i9sports.com, and you could check it out and have fun with your kids. I'm Paul Feiner, Greenburgh Town Supervisor.
WVOX.
Now back to the Greenburgh Report on 1460 WVOX. Once again, here's Greenburgh Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Good morning. I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and we're so pleased today to have as our special guest Arnold Treco. Arnold has a new business, i9 Sports, and we're talking about why he started the franchise. He was a lawyer. He still practices personal injury law, but you like this much more.
Oh yeah, this is much better. It's more fun watching kids play sports than going to courtrooms.
And in terms of starting a business, is it nerve-wracking?
It can be. I mean, when you're doing something new. I mean, before, when you work for someone else, everything's sort of there for you. You just show up, you have all the support you need, you have a system that's already set in place, and then you just do your job. But when you start your own business, you're sort of flying by the seat of your pants. I mean, I-9, the franchise itself, does support you. They give you a lot of support in terms of making things run the way they want it to go. But it's still, you're out there, on your own for a while.
Are you running it out of like your house, or are you? Do you expect to have like an office at some point? Eventually
we will try to get an office. Right now we do run it out of the house, and we have a UPS store mailbox but we kind of consider the fields our offices, because we show up, we put up a canopy, a tent, a table, and when parents come to see us, that's where they see us at. They see us at the field.
Nobody's interested in going into an office.
Right.
They're interested in playing ball.
Right. So they show up and just talk to us there.
Right. What happens if somebody has special needs? Do you have programs for children who have a disability?
We don't have a program that's specifically for kids with disabilities, but if a parent believes their child can play, then we let them play. We don't discriminate based on, disabilities or age or gender or anything like that. If your parent feels like you can come and play with us, then we try and try to make you have as much fun as possible.
Right. And again, the goal is for kids to have fun and to do the best they can rather than just win a game.
Correct. Yeah, the goal is really just to have a good time. I mean, at the end of every session, we have what we call our core sportsmanship values, and the coach will bring the children together and talk to them. Today, our sportsmanship value is humility, and they'll talk to the kids and say, you guys all did great, everybody did a great job, but the one person who embodied the sportsmanship value today was such and such child, and that child will get a medal. And we talk to the kids and say every child eventually will get a medal at the end of a practice or at the end of a game because they represented that value. So if you don't get one today, don't worry, you'll get one next week or the week after. So we make sure everybody feels included, and then at the end, everyone gets either a medal or a trophy just to let them know they participated and had a good time with us.
Right. So there's like special awards for people who may be better with the team, people who might be, a good role model.
Right.
But then everybody gets an award at the end so they don't feel bad.
Right. We make sure everyone gets something, at the end, just so that they know that they participated with us and that they don't, like you said, don't feel bad about being left out.
Right. And it's also, when you really think about it, it's good. A good lesson in life, less stressful sports activities could make somebody a better football player or a baseball player when they're in high school.
Right. Yeah, that's the actual motto of I9 Sports is helping kids succeed in life through sports. So the things you learn on the sports field can translate into your life. The majority of kids, they say, quit sports by the time they're 13 years old and they never play organized sports again. And the main reason they say they quit is because it's not fun. They're not having a good time. So we try to make them have a lot of fun from 3 to 14 so that they can go on and maybe play, in high school or whatever when it becomes more work, when you're working out, 4 days a week and things like that.
When you were in school, were you into sports?
I was into it, but I played basketball. I played same sort of things that we're doing at I9, but the main times I played sports was in the street in front of my house. And you don't see that anymore, so we're trying to bring up pickup games sort of back to the kids.
That is great. What about somebody's 3 or 4 years old and they're participating in a program? Are there snacks, or do they bring snacks with them?
Well, prior to COVID, snacks and teen moms will come and they bring snacks. But when COVID came, it kind of threw a monkey wrench in everything because of sharing, and it made things bad. We're trying to get back to the point where we can start bringing the snacks again, because that was a part of it. But the program for the youngest kids is 30 minutes for the practice and then 30 minutes for the game. So they're only about an hour.
Right.
Everybody brings water, but we also have water at the field, and we're trying to get back to the team snacks because the kids seem to like that.
Right. This is sort of the end of this summer, unfortunately, and people are starting to think about the school year. Is there a cutoff date for people to sign up for a program, or is the programs offered, all year? And the other question is, could people join in the middle of a program?
Yeah, the programs are offered all year round. If you go on the website, you'll see, like right now, we have our fall program up, and it starts the third week of September, which I believe is September 24th. That's going to be at SUNY Purchase. And we're also trying to get enough kids to run a program also on Sundays at Alexander Hamilton. And you can sign up for those now still. You can sign up for programs 2 weeks into the program before it comes off of the website. But even if you decide you want to sign up later, you just got to contact me and I'll talk to you and see if we can do it. Our winter programs are up. We put all our programs up early, so you can sign up as early as you want for our programs.
That is really great. And they sign up again by looking at the website i9sports.com.
Yep, the letter I, the number 9, sports. Or you could just call our the customer service number for my franchise is 914-556-1064.
If somebody wants to be a coach, but they don't have a lot of time, is coaching for them?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we consider if you are able to come to see the kids play, then you're able to coach. If you are going to sometimes come and watch your child play the sport that you signed them up for, then you'll be there the same amount of time, so you can also be on the field. And again, if like say you can only come 4 out of the 7 weeks, we have other coaches that'll step in, and we have sports coordinators that'll step in. Even I'll step in if need be to coach a team.
And if you're a volunteer coach, are you definitely assigned to your child's team?
Definitely, you're assigned to your child's team. You could also, if you have other kids that are your child's friends, you could let us know and make sure they're all on the same team. You could also sign up as a team if you have enough kids to make up one team. So we try to make sure kids like to play with the kids that they know. So we make sure that the families and the children stay together.
And you indicated that the coaches are given coaching materials.
They're given coaching material. All of our coaches are background checked, and then they go through the volunteer application. They have videos to watch. They have source material to enable them to do the job the way, to do it effectively, to be a good coach.
What type of background checks?
We just use a background company, and they give the information to the background check company. They run for any criminal background checks or any kind of issues that might pop up to let the coaches know or let us know, if they're able to be a coach for us.
Sports is sometimes expensive, and people have to get equipment. Is there special equipment or merchandise?
We provide, with your registration fee, you get your uniform. We provide the equipment that you need. Now, if you want to buy cleats, all you need is sneakers to play the sports that we play. But if you want cleats, you can buy those on your own. We have mouth guards for like $5 at the field if you need that. But the main thing, if you can't buy any of that stuff, just show up and we have everything you need to play.
That is great. And some people, they're proud of their kids' involvement, and the kids may want a jersey. Could you pick a number for your child's jersey?
We try to accommodate the numbers because when we order them, they just come in a big pack and we just get a bunch of random numbers. But if you let us know, we try to pull out a number for your child to keep them happy.
And they get the jersey as part of the registration?
As part of the registration, the first day, they show up to the table. We're there with big smiles on, handing out the jerseys and everything they need to get started for that day.
That is great. If a game is canceled because of poor weather, are there makeup days?
Yes, we usually build that into the program, an extra day or two, to make sure that they get their full 6 or 7 weeks, depending on what session they signed up for.
That is terrific. In terms of the name I9 Sports, I was trying to think, why did somebody come up with that name?
Yeah, years ago, the creator of the program, he had a sports program in Florida. I9 Sports is a Florida-based organization. And when he came up, he was running through different values he wanted in terms of a sports program. So he came up with 9, and they all began with the letter I. It was like innovative. He wanted us to be imaginative, impassioned, inspirational, insightful, inclusive, instructional, integrity-driven, and interactive. So those are the 9 values that make up the 9 I's in I9 Sports.
Wow. In terms of, we're running out of time right before the break. So again, we're interviewing Arnold Treco of I9 Sports, and they have programs for kids as young as 3 years old.
Correct.
And, all the way up to
14.
To 14. I9sports.com.
Now back to the Greenburgh Report on 1460 WVOX. Once again, here's Greenburgh Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Hi, I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and my guest is Arnold Treco and Arnold opened up a franchise, i9sports.com, and the goal is to provide young people with fun activities. Sports doesn't have to be just competitive, where the parents are almost violent, fighting each other if their kids are losing. But this is for the enjoyment of the game and for the sports, and everybody's a winner if they try.
Right. Yeah, we just want to get them out there and let them play, have a good time, make some friends, some good experiences.
And it could help them when they're in school. Or if they're in school, it's just something additional. So if somebody's like 11 years old and they have soccer programs and the typical sports programs that schools offer, could this program be good for them also?
Definitely, because usually like a soccer program or a basketball program for a school doesn't go all year round. So say if you play basketball for your school in the fall or the winter, but then you still want to get a little fun in or some work in playing basketball, we offer it in the spring and the summer. So you can continue playing with us. Or if you play basketball, that's your main sport, and you want to try something different, you could do soccer or flag football with us. You know, you could have a variety. You know, we don't want kids will get burnt out just playing one sport. That's one of the main reasons a lot of them quit. They just play one thing all the time. But this way they get exposed to as many sports as they can handle.
And actually, if when they're in high school, if there's competition to get on a team, this will give them a leg up.
Right. This will give them just a chance. If they want to play with us, they just have to sign up and show up, and they'll get to play.
That's great. I had a question because I see that a lot of people are still wearing masks and some people aren't. Do you have a policy for masks?
We usually go with, I guess, whatever the local policy is or whatever the school policy is. We always have masks available if anyone wants to wear them. When we're outdoors, it's easy to socially distance. Some of our indoor sports, depending on the situation or depending on the school, we let the parents wear masks, or if they don't wear them. But during the pandemic and as the pandemic was ending, everybody wore a mask. No, we had no issues. Everyone, came in, used the sanitizer and used their mask.
And, I also noticed that some kids, when they get older, the parents like to see photos of their child when they were small. Do you have a photo day?
We did, and we're trying to bring it back. But again, the pandemic changed everything, because before it was easy to just get one of these companies come out and take pictures for us. And then as the pandemic came, it became more of an issue. A lot of the businesses closed down. So what we do now is just carve out time for everyone to take pictures with their phone. We also post photos on our Facebook pages so everyone can get them. And we're looking for more ways to bring photos and pictures to the parents now.
Right. Oh, I just thought of another program. What about, are there programs co-ed, or are there some for boys and others for girls?
All of our programs are co-ed. The majority of kids that do sign up are boys, but we do have a good amount of girls that sign up with us. And then they just play. I mean, the age at 14 and under, the kids can play together. It takes maybe about 15, 16. Boys get way bigger than girls, but when they're younger, they can play together.
We have a call, and Larry, do you want to ask your question or comment? Oh, hello. We're waiting for the call.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Well, congratulations on your program.
Thank you.
I think it's very, very important. Sports. It teaches children, respect for each other. It lets them socially integrate with each other. And competition is very important, especially when you get older in the business world and everything.
Right.
So it teaches you a lot of values. I just have one question. In your program, women sports are women's sports, right? You don't allow men to compete in women's sports.
I
don't mean to put you on the spot.
Well, we don't. When they're younger, the boys and the girls do play together. But
Okay.
As they get older, we don't have adult kids playing together. The oldest they get is about 13, 14.
All right. right. So you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, we don't really have to deal with it at all in our program. Once you get older, I guess there's a difference. Some people feel there's a difference in it, but at the age when they're just kids, I mean, you see kids, all groups of kids playing together all the time. You know, different genders, different ages.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
My family, we were always involved with swimming, and we really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, the kids love
good
it.
Luck.
Right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Do they have any swimming programs?
That's the one. We do not have swimming. We keep it mostly on the fields or on the basketball courts. It's harder to get a pool than to get a baseball field or a football field. So we don't have a swimming program.
Right, but that's something that could be considered in the future. If somebody is like a real beginner and somebody else on the team, if everybody else is a little bit more advanced, do they get embarrassed or?
No, they definitely don't, because what we do is first, when you sign up, you put what type of skills your child has, and we make the teams even. And then we have a culture of just inclusivity and helping everybody. So the kids that don't play that well will get the same amount of playing time as the kids that play really well.
And could you tell us again how much playing time there is?
It depends on the program. For the younger ones, we'll have 30-minute games. So, the child will play a good portion of that 30 minutes. As you get older, it might be 45 minutes or 50 minutes, depending on the age group and the sport that we're having. But during the game time, no one's going to feel like, I sat on the bench the entire game. They're going to feel like they got a fair amount of time. They're going to want to come out so they can rest a little bit.
Yeah, we were talking about coaches before and how the parents could be coaches. What about referees?
We do we'll accept parents as referees too. If they want to, if they have the skills, or we'll let them do it. Our organization is like parent friendly. We want them to be out there on the fields with their kids.
And how are teams chosen?
We choose them either, like, say if you have a friend you want to play with, we'll keep those kids together. But we get the ages and the weights and the sizes of all the kids. And then as we're putting the teams together, we try to make sure that they're fair and that, there's not one group with a bunch of big kids and another team with a bunch of little kids. And we just want to make the games fun. So we shuffle the kids around to make them all comparable in their skills.
And I guess, one of the problems in regular sports is that sometimes the coaches give preference to their kids or their kids' friends, then other people are on the sideline. And
right.
With I-9 sports, you give everybody almost equal opportunities.
Right, and that's where our sports coordinators come in. Our sports coordinators will take notice if there's a child that's always sitting or a child that's not playing as much, and that's when he'll go and pull the coach aside and say, hey, we need to get these kids in. And it usually works out well that way. Because
that could be one of the things that makes kids feel really bad about themselves is if all their friends are on the team and getting the time and they're on the bench.
Right, and we've never had that issue. That's because the program is set up that way, that everyone gets to play, and by the end of the season, everyone's smiling and they've learned something.
So we, unfortunately, running out of time. You've been a great guest. I'm really impressed, and I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
My guest is Arnold Treco, and Arnold lives in Greenburgh, and he started this great program, a youth sports program that serves Greenburgh and the White Plains area. Right. And spread the word to your friends and parents who have small kids that this is a program that they may really enjoy. It's not that expensive, but it's a lot of fun for the kids and making a lot of children smile.
Right, definitely. The kids and the parents will have a good time, so we definitely encourage you to sign up.
Great. So I'm Paul Feiner, Greenburgh town supervisor, and I'm jealous because I wish I was a kid. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I'll see everybody next week.